Let me first of all say good afternoon. And begin by saying the afternoon may have seemed like a dreary one, but I think it was a blessing, really. And so, at the outset, I want to acknowledge with us Dr. Timothy Sylvester Harris, our esteemed Prime Minister, Honorable Lindsey Grant, our Minister of Tourism, Metal, who, he didn't know I was going to say this, but who earned the accolade last year of the Regional Tourism Minister of the Year. And of course, the Honorable General Blanchard Powell Herbert, Minister of Education, who can boast of a successful CPL and international cricket hosting in the last year or so. Of course, next to Jonelle is our esteemed Attorney General. Our Attorney General is one of the persons who have brought so much success and guidance to the Team Unity administration, and that is why we are still together today. I want to thank him for all the work that he has put in, really untold and maybe not even properly paid. But it's a lot of work, worthy of commendation. Of course, our chairperson, Mrs. Malby James, and other members of the board who are here with her. I would like also to acknowledge the presence of the management and staff of the corporation, and I did say every member of the board. Right. So everyone, boys, girls, adults, men, women, children, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Everyone knows that I was born in Keyon. You didn't know? Well, you don't know. My mother migrated to the UK when I was about 3 years old. And she died there when I was 10. So I didn't really bond with her. My father moved on to another family. My mother moved on to another family too. And so I grew up with my grandmother, a widow who was at the time a laborer on the Brighton estate. So I learned every sugarcane chew on the estate with my grandmother. I ain't got to go into them. You all know what they are. Except to say that while other families had donkeys to carry their load from wherever Brighton was cutting sugarcane, I had to bring it on my head. Those stock meat to feed the cattle at home. Barefoot and ragged. Yes, many of us went through all of that. I'm not saying anything which is so new to a lot of us, Most of us went through that. And we had to come home early in the mornings after doing all that, feed the pigs, look after the fowl, sweep the yard, head water full up the drum, no water pipe in your yard. And you still have to reach school early, or else you get blows. Life has changed much, since then. Not that some people still don't have difficulty, but life has changed. A lot of people have so much facilities, they even abuse them. And that is something which we need to be careful about, because we have life so good. We waste water. We burn electricity all night. We buy all kind of things which we don't need. And the most important thing which is supposed to pay attention to some of us, pay no attention at all. Like paying your mortgage. Or very few pay attention to it. In those days when I was young, I'm sure the Attorney General will tell you, we used to have like one pair of dog muzzle shoes. You know the dog muzzle? Well, you know dog muzzle. It's one pair. And you have to practically wash the one suit of clothes you go in school every day to be able to go back the next day. Those were the days. That's why when some young people see me now and say, Minister, please give me that, and I say, you ain't work hard yet. You learn to work hard. Because the minute they see you, give me something, learn to work hard. When you learn to work hard, it's a discipline that you get when you learn to work hard. The strictness of those days was such that there was very little time for sports for me. Especially on Sundays when you have to go to church, and Sunday school, 3 of them. Dr. Harris, you went to 3 Sunday school too, didn't it? Yeah, I know. And of course, we were playing the game of cricket. I learned, however, to play cricket and football, and it is those 2 games, cricket and football, that brought me to this part of St. Kitts and Nevis, a place called St. Peter's. I became captain of my cricket and football team, and we used to walk the hillside to Bayfords to come here. The road's kind of bad now, and I feel a little awkward about that, but we can work on it. But that's how I came to St. Peter's and met so many people in St. Peter's. At 24, well, before I go there, I met people like Lammy, who used to think he's a wicket keeper and a batsman. I met people like Johal, who used to think he was a spin bowler, bowling back of the hand stuff. You all know him? Johal? And Roy Rogers, who think he was some kind of off spinner. I wouldn't tell you how we used to do them. But it was an experience in our youth. And at 24, I got a job that brought me to this community between 52 to 100 times every year. And boy, did I meet a lot of people with whom I bonded. Because of that job, I got to know many families. Many families in this community, like Al Henry and Bronte Huggins, and the Edwards family, and the Tyson family, and the Ruby Williams, and the Nisbet family, and the Ebertons family, and the Walters. Mr. Walters used to be the overseer in the estate, and the whole family. The Isaacs. I think you have Dr. Kevin Isaac right now from that family. The Mortons, the Flanders, the Fredericks, the Phillips, the Caesars, the Leaders, the Rollins, and the Harrises. Just naming a few. So when I embarked on my first rodeo up here, as a candidate in elections, I received 363 votes. That was for all the homes that I visited. I must tell you, the last time that I ran, I got over 700 votes. So it shows that I've grown. But I got 363 votes the first time when I came. And that is because I got to know people now, not just about playing cricket and football, but I used to go on the veranda and in their homes. And we bonded and connected. And that is still true today of many of the homes in St. Peter's. So when I embarked on First Rodeo and got all those votes, I became the representative. And as the representative, since 2015, I have superintended over the completion of roads here in Stapleton, the completion of repairs and refurbishing of the community center and putting in reserved water system, the Dean Glassford High School, Primary School, the Atiba Harris Stadium and renaming it after him. Oh, hundreds of persons got land up here in the last 5 or 6 years. And you know what? We commenced the construction of a new multi-million-dollar health center, which I'm going to put my foot down to make sure we complete this year. But we hear about housing. And as we distribute today, I hear the number 22. It was supposed to be 24, What happened to the other 2? Anyway, as we distribute today, it will make the number of houses built in St. Peter's under the Team Unity administration, the number is 64 houses in this community. And while I'm at it, I must tell you, I spoke about all those successes, but I'm still looking for, I spoke with the Director of Public Works just the other day. In fact, I brought him on the road with me. And I know you have been telling me about the main road from Bastille to St. Pete to Stapleton. Watch out this year, because the director told me so. I've given you all that background just to tell you that at this point, despite the successes of which I speak, there are friendly forces trying to undermine and divide this Team Unity administration. They're trying to undermine what we have so painstakingly built. It is a painful reality with which I'm being confronted and which I grapple with every day. And my spirit grieves like Christ grieved when he saw the sight of Mary at the death of her brother Lazarus. Or when he saw the barbaric way in which John the Baptist was killed. Yes, my spirit grieved as he grieved when he asked the disciples just to watch for 1 hour, and they still went to sleep. Yes, my spirit grieves, but I hold fast to the ideals of unity and of community. And this development is symbolic of that dream of unity and community. Today, we have PLT and PAM in the house. And we have no PP in the house too. And I'm saying in this public forum, there is no need to be any war of words or actions to divide us. The adage of divide and befall is still true today. And so what do I mean by that? This team unity has been strengthened by the coming together of two parties in 2015. Well, before 2015. 3 parties actually, but 2 in St. Kitts. And it has brought unprecedented development to this community. So I'm challenging anybody on my team not to be engaged in any war of words with anybody. And I'm also challenging those on the PLP team not to be engaged in any war of words with who's supposed to be your friends and family. Divided we fall. United we will stand. As the current representative, I call upon every one of us here today, including my Prime Minister. I hope when he comes he says, I'm going to call upon you to stop these war of words, stop seeking to divide people in this union of team unity. Prime Minister, I hope you don't mind if I tell you, do the same when you come up. You see, it is because of the spirit of unity that families receive in their homes today represent what I will describe as a microcosm of the demographics of our society. The families represent the young, the middle-aged, the not so young. They are families of 3, some with 4 or 5. 8 too. See, I just heard the number, I didn't even know the one. 8. While most families are registered with NHC as female-headed homes and female-headed families, there are more males in the houses combined than females. So don't worry if you don't hear many men name called, plenty men in there too. It is a microcosm of the demographics of our society. Today, as we carry out this exercise of distributing homes, I want to turn my attention to those who are receiving the homes and to give them some advice as well. My advice to you are simple. An investment in a home is probably the single largest economic investment you will ever make in your lifetime. And as the years go on, the cost and the value of those homes will rise. In fact, the cost of building the same homes tomorrow will be much more. So those of you who are getting here are very lucky. In fact, whether it is supply chain realities, environmental transformation of goods and services, or gouging, not local gouging, mind you, because the gouging going on outside. We won't tolerate gouging on St. Kitts. NHC has earlier calculated that the home built in 2020 for $165,000 will cost us $235,000 in 2022. That's a significant increase. And I believe we have to adjust that because prices are still rising in some areas. It appears that every conceivable item used to construct homes have been and continues to be subjected to increases in costs except water. And that is because the government decided not to charge you more. Well, give the government a hand now. So, maybe electricity too, right? Yes, give electricity a hand too. So, I expect each of you to treat your home with utmost care and at every turn attend to its repair and its maintenance. Delays in maintenance could enslave you. Believe me, as costs rise, if you delay in maintenance, the more you're going to spend to restore your home. Further, you should not become delinquent in your payments to NHC, as that is a recipe for enslavement. You're enslaving yourself. You become a slave to those payments as your payments get more and more in arrears. All when you're done, die your children and grandchildren still paying because you became delinquent. Paying for anything in arrears digs deeply into your pockets and are never to be recovered, resulting in you inflicting slavish circumstances upon yourself and your family. If you are taking one of these homes and you find that you're committing yourself to something that you cannot pay, don't take it. Wait the next turn. Let someone continue who can afford to pay. Mind you, I am not saying that you don't tighten your belts, gird up your loins, and make the payment. Do that. But if you know you definitely can't pay, I think Mr. Isaac gave the recipe. Come in, let's talk. Come in, let's talk. Because there might be something that can be done to ensure that you can pay. Avoid adding higher purchase to your debts. You hear what I say? You all hear what I say? Yes. If you ain't got no living chair, don't let pride make you go buy something where you can't afford. Wait, 1 year you might be able to pay for it. If you don't want nobody come in the house, close the door. But don't put yourself in higher purchase. Higher purchase is 20-something% interest. My goodness. And fast cash, even worse. Why should we at NHC charge you 2%, treating you so good, and you're going and paying 20% down the road? Don't make sense. It better you go and borrow for 5% in a bank and pay rather than go fast cash or higher purchase. I don't care if the higher purchase people don't like me, but that's true, is the truth. You say it's true about your credit card too, but I'm saying be careful about adding unnecessary debts to yourself. Because where you are today, I would expect your income in a couple of years to rise. And when your income rises, you could then afford other things. My grandmother used to say, learn to walk before you could run. Nobody watch me and say, I wonder what he talk about, you all know what I'm saying, Okay. Show love and compassion in your household and in your neighborhood. And you will see how love and compassion will transcend to the rest of the community. That will reduce conflict and strife and war and gun war. Show love and compassion in your household. As a government, we have done our part. This beautiful place, I'm so jealous of you all. True, I'm jealous with you. Because me ain't got no road down by me. You jealous too? But seriously speaking, I have walked this place and I've driven across this place. And this is beautiful surroundings. And I can tell you, I went in the houses already, and nothing better than that. Kings and queens will love to live there. We have asked for a minimal financial commitment. We ain't gone high, we gone low. The only how you could have gone lower, if cabinet had said go lower. And I didn't care to cabinet because I didn't want cabinet to make you lose the value that you should have in your own house. If I go cabinet and they say carry it down, that's one thing in my cabinet, they like to go down lower. But I didn't go cabinet with it. I said pay what is the minimum so that we could pay. You know why? Remember, I have to pay back Social Security too. So if you don't pay me, I can't pay Social Security. Right? As simple as that. Now that government has played its part, you have to play a part. You have to make sure this place is clean. Don't let your neighbor and other people come here and throw garbage all over this place. Make sure that this place is clean. That is you to make sure about that because you live here. Don't stay in your house and say, I don't know why government ain't come pick up the garbage. Pick up the phone and call the garbage man. Before I sit down. Because you realize, I really ain't talk much about the house, and about how much people get in house. I talk about life. Look, life can be represented in a bell-shaped curve. Right? You're born helpless. You get obstinate so till your mother can't tell you nothing. You start growing. You get strong. Nobody could tell you anything. Strong like a lion. You work hard. And one day you realize, wait, I'm 60, I'm plateaued, and downhill you start to go. Don't think you can be always young and strong like that. One day you have to go there and start going downhill. So it is important. That's one of the reasons why I talk about paying for your thing. Don't wait until you're going downhill to try to pay. Because by that time, your income is reduced. And it becomes more difficult to handle. I spoke about life. And so I want to close off by saying, giving thanks to all those who contributed to this wonderful development. Contractors in particular, I must mention B&B, who did the roads. But my heart goes out to the young man who died while doing the project at the top house, Lincoln, the family of Lincoln. Strong young man, working hard. Sometimes when all the others gone home, he there working. You all know that. And one day, he felt a certain way. And when he checked, he was riddled with cancer. And it ripped him apart. And he died just about when he reached halfway. And so, the project stalled for a while. But at least it was completed by another contractor who did an excellent job. I want to pause for a moment, just one moment of silence for Lincoln and his family. Thank you. I remember when Acting General Manager was speaking, he teared up when he spoke about Lincoln and the young lady who works at NHC who just died suddenly last week and buried last Wednesday. So, we are going to see, I should tell you, the two-bedroom houses, I think, I heard the numbers, again, I had a different number, but I heard them tonight. 1,180 square feet. The two-bedroom house across here, that's only about 862 square feet. You're getting a two-bedroom here is 1,180 square feet. The three-bedroom is 1,680 or 1,700 square feet. That's a huge house. I mean, huge. In other words, the three-bedroom is twice what this house is in terms of floor space. I don't remember, 680? Something like that. 580 or 680, one of them. 580, I believe. But we have grown. Next stop after this is Conyers. And as in working with the member for St. Christopher 4, he tells me he thinks he'll be ready by mid next month. So it means middle of March, we're going to be distributing again. Yes. Again, let me thank all of you for coming. I trust that you have, look, I may have spoken for 20, 25 minutes. And to be honest with you, I had to talk for 25 minutes because I don't know which minute of what I say you're going to remember. So some of you might remember the first minute, some of you going to remember the last minute. So I had to speak for the full 25 minutes. So whichever minute you remember, let's hope it's a lesson to you as you journey through life. Thank you very much.